morning. We have here a half a pig. It's been chilling all night. I'm currently going over it to make sure I got all the hair off of it. I know I missed some yesterday, and I know I'm gonna find some more later. I already got the other side before Sandy got out here with the camera. So I'm kind of just picking through where I see it, and with the amount of fat on this guy, not too concerned with just cutting off a little bit here and there to make sure we don't have any hair. So that's where we're at currently. I think I got the backside when I got the paper off of him, or the plastic off of him when I wrapped him in to put him in the barrel. What you may have noticed is we're not outside. Last night I came in and I cleaned and cleaned and cleaned, cleared off the workbench, swept, vacuumed, and covered with plastic. Because it was, again, going to be really cold today. So this is the mother.
And I would have to say it meets with the Sandy requirements of cleanliness.
Why do you meet Sandy's requirements? Don't ever say that cold steel knives aren't sharp. I have a feeling they may be a little dull by the end of the day, but for right now.
They come back to life.
Yes. So this is a humongo big pocket of leaf lard that I'm trying to get out. It's like playing with Crisco.
I thought it felt like wax to me. Or does it matter at this point?
Doesn't matter at this point. I did a calculation yesterday, so we got about 200 pounds of pig. We had 299 pounds of on the hoof hanging weight. The scale zeroed out on me, so we lost that. And then, so I weighed what we got removed at 98 pounds. So I'm gonna say we got 200 pounds of pig.
Yeah, you probably just kind of tear it at this point.
Well, I could, if I could. Clean later.
And or grinding some of this pork as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We will be grinding some pork. A friend of mine has said he's going to get me a deer this year. So we had to go buy back fat for the deer he gave me last year. And so we're hoping to not have to do that.
Okay, so we're gonna pause this here, and once all the lard's off and we go into our cuts, then we'll do some little snippets for you, okay?
They are food grade. And I have.
I'm not gonna stay in there that long anyway. Can you cut a piece of leaf lard and put it down and then cut a piece of the other lard?
It's easier to go like this. Do you see the smush and the creaminess of that? That's the reminds you of Crisco. Okay.
That's leaf lard.
Right now, this hard, firm back lard.
Probably though, when it gets warm, it gets softer and smushier too.
When it gets warm, it will be soft and gelatinous, just like everything else.
And what are you going to use that for, Carrie?
That's going to go with the deer that I'm hoping to get.
you got there, Carrie?
We have a ham. This would be the back leg that I cut off the H-bone, and I've trimmed the fat. Yeah. So there we go. That is the tenderloin. Yes, it is definitely going to need to be...
Error.
Then it weighs more than 15 pounds if it errs on that scale. So there's the tenderloin. It's going to need to get trimmed and cleaned up.
So I just weighed that ham and it was 11 pounds.
That's a good size ham. At what, $10-15 a pound you're paying for ham now?
Looks, oh my gosh, wait till you guys see this. Check that out, get it really close. That looks kind of like bacon.
That's a jowl.
Tell them what you're doing.
I am splitting the front from the back.
And you just counted.
I counted. I think it's supposed to be between the third and the fourth rib. So I counted over 1, 2, 3 ribs. And there's the fourth rib. I may be wrong. I might have been between the fourth and the fifth rib. But you know, when you don't know what you're doing and you're learning and you're experimenting. Okay. So I have the, not that you can see it, but I have the belly and the ribs. Gosh, that's a huge belly. Oh, I'm not complaining. That's bacon. And to be honest, I like sausage better than bacon, but I'm not going to argue with bacon ever. In fact, we had some bacon this morning. Wish it was ours. So we have here the loin, which is where you get all your chops from, the spare ribs, and the belly. And over here that you can't see because I think it's out of frame is the front leg, which is where you get the Boston butt. And there's the sirloin and a couple of other pieces. This is for grind.
So you just got that confirmed by
Yes, Mr. Google Pants did say I got between the right ribs.
not
Actually, it was not Mr. Google Pants. It was the Bearded Butchers from Whitetail Meats. I think Whitetail, or no, White Feather Meats.
How to Butcher a Pig, Every Cut Explained, plus Ham and Sausage by White Feather Meats. And it was about a year ago if you have trouble finding it, but if you Google that, you know. So he was just getting ready to go on into the next cut. So I paused it and wanted to update you, and we'll just kind of keep going.
So the next cut requires cutting right there.
What'd you just do there, Carrie?
Okay, so I cut it off at the ribs. So now we're going to
Separating
take,
the spine, the
take
spine.
the spine off of the loin. So now.
So that whole piece right there is that loin that you see it. Smithfield packages up in a long log. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, one log.
To associate it with, you know, grocery store.
So it's got a run of the ribs right here, and these, which I apparently left most of the baby backs, are all on the. In fact, all of the baby backs apparently are going to be on the other. So I need to get under these bones here. And
you're gonna cut. Are we gonna eat that?
This piece of bone? Probably not. We might put it in a pot and cook it and make something out of it. But that's not enough rib to.
Oh, okay. I just wondering. I bet the meat smith would say different.
Right. I'm sure he would. But he's got many more pigs under his belt than I do at this point.
Oh my gosh, and we just realized this guy was doing it on 2 acres. You've got to check out the Meat Smith. Oh my gosh.
Farmstead Meat Smith.
Yeah, and they just moved to 10 acres.
I have a bucket down there. I'm not just throwing it on the floor.
Is that your grind meat or your...
That's grind meat.
Okay, just want to make sure you weren't getting your buckets confused.
But you can go through and you can pick out all of the little itty bitty bits, or you can take that and throw it in a stock pot and
With that, the tenderloin.
cook it down and make pork stock.
I don't know about anybody else, but I haven't really had much luck with pork stock. It just doesn't do it for me. However, you know, that was with store-bought pork.
Right. That's got a chunk of bone in it. This does not. The loin goes along the spine on the outside, and that's where you would normally get your pork chops, but we did not keep the bone on because I don't have a bone saw or a band saw to put all this on. So we are going to make this into boneless chops. I need to debone that. But first I need to get this huge fat cap off the top. So the interest of not overflowing all of our buckets, we are cutting up some lard
Just a second.
to go straight to the freezer. So I'm basically just cubing it up and stuffing it into a shrink bag because we're going to render it at some point. I think I have enough fat currently in my meat stash over here for when we grind the pork into pork grind. So I don't know, but I have a 5-gallon bucket full of lard and another 5-gallon bucket that's half full, and I still have another half a pig to go. I guess I can stop doing that for a few minutes while you're still recording and go on to I like pig butts and I cannot lie. This is the pork butt, which is actually the front shoulder. There's an H-bone in there somewhere, and if I remember right, there's a gland in there somewhere. All right, so I have the front leg, which is the butt. We are going to trim this up a little bit. What I'm looking for is somewhere in this vicinity is a gland that I'm going to try and dig out. And I hope I got it. Haha, that gland, trash bag. Now we are going to clean this up a hair. We are going to, I think I'm going to start with the top half. Cut down to the bone. There we go. Down to the bone, and then we So now we have pork butt, H-bone intact. Probably trim it down a little bit because I don't like that much fat on my pork butt. Just make it look pretty. And there we have it. One nice pork butt ready to go on the smoker whenever we choose. Set that over there. We're going to move on to the picnic ham, which can be cut into individual pieces. You can cut the shank off, but I am just going to debone it and grind it. The other ham and the other one I will make into 2 pieces. But to be honest, we've had fresh ham before, and maybe it's just because it was store-bought, but it's probably because it wasn't cured either. It wasn't exactly what we were wanting from ham, but maybe I will. I'll save the bottom half, since I haven't mangled it yet.